All
Alrighty.
right. All right. Welcome to the PSBS. That is the PlayStation Bull Session podcast. I am your host, Cote, PSN bayouboyz, and my co-host is
Andrew Arenas, doubleis.
yes, and this is the PSBS. So we're almost the double digits. We'll be at that point next week. That's
Very
yes.
close.
So that's a milestone, an achievement for us. Gonna get to 10 episodes. I was about to say 10 weeks, but we've taken like 2 weeks off since we started, and then we've done bonus episodes for our lost weeks,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
What we
so,
got
yeah.
here
But
this
what we
week?
got this week?
A lot was here.
Yeah, I got a lot of.
I also have
Oh, we got questions this
submitted
week.
from people, and if it relates to whatever we're talking about, which it's not going to
Eh.
be very much because half of the questions are related to what came out this week in episodic games,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, whatever is here,
Yeah.
we'll see. It's just two. Odds are pretty low.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna relate too much, but I can use that as a segue because talking about episodic games, those are adventure games, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
those
episodic games,
are-
which we have, that are
Those
adventure
are
games. I mean,
well,
yeah, that in terms of episodic game content, Resident Evil Revelations 2 just wrapped up,
but
so
that's not. But
that's
the
not.
ones you're talking about are like the adventure games. Yeah,
Yeah, the adventure games. You have Borderlands
Yeah.
right now, Game of Thrones,
Thrones,
Life
Life
is
is Strange.
Strange right now. Those three. So
But anyway,
have those three.
the segue I was trying to pull from that is adventure games. Speaking of adventure games, big one got a release date today. Broken Age, the complete story or whatever it's called, is coming April 28th to PS4 and Vita with cross-buy. And since it's the complete story or whatever, it's going to have Broken Age Act 1 and 2 together.
That's good. Yeah.
So because I heard really good stuff about Act 1 when it released on PC last year. And everybody's been waiting for that.
And it was just like, where's Act 2? Act 2,
2?
it's almost probably been a year wait already, so it's just pretty strange, but it's okay. Anything for it to get out of the door, and it's nice that it's going to be on PlayStation platforms. I'll probably want to play this on PS4. Vita would look nice too, but I also want to play this on PS4. Very excited for this.
And that's coming April.
Price point. Was there a price point?
I think it's $20.
Okay.
Maybe 25. It might be 25 because I think that's what it said. 25 on.
Wow, 25.
I think it said 25 on PC because they said something about like after the 28th, if you buy it on PC, you have to buy it as the complete bundle. You can't just buy the individual parts. And I think they said the full thing's 25. So, I mean, I guess it's the same price on PlayStation. I doubt it would be more expensive on PC than it would be on PS4.
Yeah, so $25. Wow,
I might have to double check that.
It's a bit pricey for a downloadable game, but these are pretty long.
Yeah, I might have to double check that if it's 20 or 25. But I think I read in the original article 25, at least the PC version, and I just don't think they'd be different prices. So
it's just odd to me. I mean, that would literally be like one of the more expensive adventure games, and one of the more expensive downloadable games on PlayStation 4. Downloadable games, not including like retail games that are digital, like Battlefield Hardline. I don't know why that one popped up first, but Battlefield Hardline. Yeah, it's just a bit expensive, but that's fine.
Yes, that's fine. It's fine. We'll see.
Fine.
But yeah, like I said, that's April 28th, so end of April that'll be available.
That's
PS4
good.
and Vita cross-buy. Okay, and some Rock Band 4 news I found this week.
Ah, good. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of harmonics. Folks have been hip hopping around in different podcasts around talking about the game. I'm surprised. I don't know. I'm surprised I haven't seen as much stuff before because they could say some stuff that's on the record.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been very vocal about this game, which is good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, talk about it.
What I found was that the product manager did an interview or something, and he confirmed and assured that yes, Rock Band 4 will run at 1080p, 60 frames per second. So you're gonna have
good. But we hope so for a game like
but that's
this.
cool.
Hope so for a game like this. But yes, we at least that confirmation is there, just like any other game. But yeah, it's especially important for a game of this like caliber and pace to actually run like that.
Nice
good.
And smooth.
It's good.
And they said that the game should be out October 2015.
Well, so that's like a window, right?
So they didn't give an exact date, but they said October. So
October.
I'm hoping October 13th because that's a Tuesday and that's my birthday. So I can at least be playing Rock Band 4 for my birthday.
Let's hope it isn't too busy that time. Like, I won't be surprised if it comes out like the week of Assassin's Creed or something like that. But
Shoot.
we'll have to see.
Shoot. I don't care. I don't care what comes out the same day as Rock Band 4. Rock Band 4 is my priority.
Yeah, well, yeah, that one's gonna trump all. Like, I could give a damn about Assassin's Creed anymore, but like, I will totally be on board for Rock Band 4 first than Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed, I could wait for that to be $40.
Well, what if it was something? What if it was something bigger, like I don't know, like Fallout 4 or something?
First, Fallout 4 in October. I don't know.
New Vegas.
New
Vegas came out in October.
New Vegas, they come. Yeah. That would literally be like the biggest day for the system. Since November 18th last year. That was a very difficult one. Probably have to go Rock Band 4 on that one. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to see that first. I'm going to spend the most money on that game, and then I want to see how everything works.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Especially to play the new set list. That's a big deal. And yeah. So.
But speaking of Rock Band, I had an idea the other day, and I think they should do this. I think this would be kind of cool. Well, the PS4's been getting a lot of remasters, which we'll talk about in a bit. But one game I think they should bring to PS4, even though it may sound crazy, I think they should bring Rock Band Blitz to PS4. And the reason for that is I think it'd be really cool if they put it out now, so that way people can start downloading their DLC now for Rock Band. Yeah. And then that way you can have all your DLC downloaded. That way when Rock Band 4 comes out, you can go straight into it. It's not like, oh, you bought Rock Band 4 today and you got to spend the next 2 days downloading, your 600 plus songs or whatever you have, to your hard drive.
So it's something like you want this to come out first, then Rock Band 4?
Yeah, like have Rock Band Blitz come out first, where you can. You obviously have to use your controller to play it, but like just have it out so that way people can start basically like preloading their DLC basically for the game.
That's a good idea. I like that idea, but I like Rock Band Blitz a lot. I mean, it was a very good game, but there's some contradictory things here to it. First of all, you can have key parts, which is fine. It's always going to be there, probably, even if there was a hypothetical remaster. But then Rock Band 4 itself doesn't have keys at the moment. Could see a post-release, and Harmonix did say on the record that Rock Band Blitz ended up not selling all that well at all. Yeah, so I'm not really sure if that's like a worthwhile thing. And yes, it did have had like its song pack, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be exportable to Rock Band 4. So if you really want those Blitz songs, those will probably be in Rock Band 4 for sure.
If
you were able to get an export pack. It was like an export pack for it, and then you can also buy the songs individually if you want. But yeah, they just weren't a fan of Harmonix wasn't a fan of how the game performed on. Just originally on Xbox 360 and PS3, so I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I just like to see it. I'm looking at it more as like more basically just an outlet to preload your DLC rather than really selling the game. Because they could make a cross by like, hey, if you bought it already, then good. You can just download it again and start downloading your DLC. And if you haven't bought it yet, then you could kind of use this as your, basically your outlet to preload your DLC.
Because day one is going to be a mess for that. Well, as much as I want my like 1,500 songs that I purchased there, well, most of the 1,500, but I think I want to play the new set list first. Yeah, like get a feel. For that
you can play your new set list while it's downloading in the background. Yeah, you can do that.
And then plus, like online people, I'm not even going to be really sure like who I'm going to find. I'm going to have friends to play it with, but that own a lot of DLC. But I'm not really going to sure. I'm not going to be really sure on how many people have my DLC, so then I can play with them. And
but couldn't you?
Of the game's release date, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, but couldn't you just like share play it?
Who knows if that game even supports share play? But I'm pretty sure Rocksmith does. But that's a very good question on that too, or even remote play, which is a joke. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't work. But I don't know. I like the idea of that, but it just doesn't. It unfortunately isn't sound enough for it to happen at all. We
need to tweet that at Harmonix. Maybe the ideas never crossed their mind, and once they hear it, they'll be like, oh, "That's brilliant."
It's also a good idea, especially for like you said, get the DLC out there a bit earlier. But I just feel like they're focused on really just like the core game of Rock Band 4, and Blitz is a very good game too because. It can also be for people that probably don't even own Rock Band 4 at all, and then maybe just like that's their first not Rock Band game, but just something at least there as a DLC portal, just to have there, and also get another way to experience the music. But
I don't know. Like I said, I think I don't know. I seriously think we need to like send that to Harmonix, like, and let them kind of think about it. I think the only thing that would really hurt it is that Amplitude's coming out this summer, and they probably don't want to.
It's a similar
kind of in
game.
gameplay structures. They probably don't want to put them out at the same time on PS4. You know?
Yeah, because if you want this hypothetical remaster or just another Rock Band Blitz in general, it could be Rock Band Blitz.
Yeah, it could be Rock Band Blitz too.
And basically be the same game. But
or Amplitude is it? Like you can put your Rock Band DLC into Amplitude, and then that solves everything.
Literally, Rock Band Blitz 2 could just be like a sound pack and just have basically the same game, just with different songs. Yeah, because if this was to come out and Amplitude has its is it summer now?
Yeah, it's summer.
Release window summer now. Since it didn't really get delayed, but it did. So. Yeah, we'll probably have to come out a little after Amplitude, and then Rock Band 4's imminent release really close if we say October, right? Whatever he said. One of the folks at Harmonix, so that's a bit tricky.
Yeah, because I mean...
And then, they're also working on other projects on the side, too, of Rock Band 4, but Rock Band 4 is like the priority right now, but...
Because I mean...
Yeah, I'm just not really sure.
Yeah, because the way the PS4 and I guess Xbox One is structured, too, the thing is, too, you can't download DLC unless you have the game installed on your hard drive, anyway.
Yeah,
so
right
there's no way right now for them to just put out the DLC and you start downloading it now. Like it won't create a Rock Band 4 file on your PS4. You still need the game, because I really do think Harmonix needs to figure out a way to let people basically preload their DLC, before that game comes out, because it is going to be a big thing they want. I mean, like I said, yeah, you can play the on-disc songs while waiting for
because I think people are going to want to get a feel for that, because if they're really touting their top-tier soundtrack a lot, I'm pretty sure they're going to want people to play that first and then get the DLC. Like, a tad bit later. I'm not talking, like, too long, because I'm pretty sure it might be the Little Big Planet situation, where it's a bit of a wait, but it's not going to be too long before all your stuff is going to be there. But, I mean, Rocksmith had a day one. All their stuff, which is not as much as Rock Band, granted, and there's different things to that. But for this game, it's a little bigger, and then I really want to play that top tier soundtrack first. I mean, I want to see that. I mean, that's gonna be 80. It's probably gonna be 80, maybe possibly 100. I maybe think 100, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I think and plus that's also a reason that they want us to play those songs first, and then get our DLC again, and then replay that. Which I wouldn't have a problem with.
Also, one thing I noticed, I was playing Rock Band Blitz the other day, and one thing I noticed about that game that I didn't realize before, and hopefully this doesn't carry over to Rock Band 4, but Rock Band Blitz is basically an online-only game.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that. Like, I wasn't signed in, and I was playing Rock Band Blitz, and it said, if you're not signed in, you can't do crap. Like, you can play the game, but you don't really get a score. Like, your score doesn't count. You can't even access power-ups when you're disconnected.
Yeah, you can't access your little things. I doubt Rock Band 4 will be like that, because they probably have had negative reception to that. I don't think you're the only one that has stated that. I think other people on the forums have said that as well. I doubt that will carry over. Yeah, whenever your network is off in Rock Band 3, it is a little discouraging because your high scores don't save. That's really the only thing in Rock Band 3, but you're at least still able to play the game in full. So I highly doubt in Rock Band 4 that it'll be any less restrictive when your network connection's off for any strange reason. But I know the Rock Band games you always want to make sure you're always connected all the time. So Rock Band 4 will be no different in that regard, and it'll take advantage of whatever social features there are both on PS4 and Xbox One. So you always want to be connected on that front, but I doubt it'll restrict things other than online play and high score leaderboards.
Man, the broadcasts for that are going to be amazing. People are going to be like broadcasting themselves in the video screen.
I think Rock Band 4 will be a very good game to live stream. I think. You kind of see maybe some things on Twitch that people still stream, like Rock Band 3 and 2. And I think Rock Band 4 will kind of help maybe re-kick that live stream
but I mean,
section of people to live stream that game.
Yeah, because I mean, like the PS4 where you can like have the gameplay in the corner, but in the corner you have the camera on with you. So you just see all you and your friends just playing Rock Band, like with the instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
And then, heck, if maybe we get our proposed... we didn't talk about this last week, but... not to get into too much detail what's showed, I mean, it's on Power, but, if that touted video chat feature will be up, who knows? But we won't get into too much of how that is in the context of the show, because we don't want to spoil it for people, but, yeah, if that possibility of that video chat feature comes, then we'll have to see.
Yes. But yeah. But anyway, after all, one thing I said was that I kind of wanted a remaster of Rock Band Blitz, but for different reasons, because I want the pre-order DLC. But that leads us to this topic. Two remasters that basically, actually more, like, oh God, like 2 or 3 remasters have been announced this week for PS4. Yeah, because this one wasn't confirmed, but this kind of popped up somewhere. But Gravity Rush Remastered got rated for PS4 in outlet, so that kind of makes it seem like that's happening, possibly.
Not very attractive considering, like, last week during the dollar sale, you could have bought that game for 80 cents. On
Plus, the game was free on PlayStation Plus for the longest time.
At one point. Yeah, for a long time, because like it was part of like its Vita's first lineup of Plus games.
Yeah.
So it was there for a good while if you were there, maybe at least last year. But I can understand for the folks out there that don't have a Vita, which is a lot, and then kind of maybe have, and I didn't get into Gravity Rush too much, and if they maybe did improve maybe the controls a bit, I don't know if that's a possibility on PlayStation 4, but
I don't know. Like I really like Gravity Rush. Like I really liked it on Vita, and I'm not really sure how the controls are going to work on PS4. I mean, maybe the touchpad and tilted control, but that just doesn't feel right. Like I don't think that's going to feel as right as like maybe how it works on Vita. And
see, it could be mapped differently, and then you have the touchpad on PS4.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're going to do. Like because it's a remaster on PS4, if they're going to redo the voice acting, because I don't think there was any voice acting in the game. I think it was just text and some sounds.
Yeah. Which is going to be pretty odd to see on the
PS4.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty odd,
but
I doubt that'll have voice acting.
Yeah. But the big thing about this too is that like Gravity Rush 2 has been confirmed in development, but they've been really vague on what system it's coming out for. Yeah. Because some people were like, "Well, it's a Vita game, right?" And then somebody's kind of like, maybe." So like,
it's looking more likely on PlayStation.
Yeah, it's a PS4 game, and now that they're doing a remaster of the first one on PS4, now it's looking more likely that Gravity Rush 2 is coming to PS4. Now, whether it'll come to Vita also, that's to be seen.
We don't know that.
I would hope so. I mean, it's started on Vita, but I mean I'll just have to wait and see. But I mean, if they really do make Gravity Rush 2 only on PS4, then that game can be a huge leap over the first one, just as far as
that's awesome.
What it is graphically and technically and all that.
Yeah, it could look like look even way better than whatever this remastered one of the first game will be.
So, I really like Gravity Rush, but I don't know if I'm going to jump on this PS4 one, but we'll see.
We'll see.
But
we'll see if there's any more details at E3 or Tokyo Game Show this year.
That's one. The other big remaster that got announced this week, and this one was officially announced, not like rumored like these other ones. But this one was officially announced this week. But God of War 3 Remastered was announced this week, and it's coming July 14th to PS4. And God, this one just seems really out of nowhere, you know?
Well, yeah, it was announced during their speedrun speedrun charity foundation live stream last week, and I watched part of it, but not really feeling this one. I know we also talk about we want remasters for other 5+-year-old games, but we ask for like trilogies, things that like are together. So yeah, I know that it might be a little hypocritical to say, oh, this one's not really needed when we want like other 5+-year-old games on PS4, like Fallout or like possibly Mass Effect or something like that. But this one is just that one's really teetering on the edge.
Yeah, I mean this one's weird. The reason I find this one weird is because it's 5 years old and it's just God of War 3. You know? Like it's just God of War 3. Like if it was the whole saga pack that came with all 5 games, then that would have been nice. But
like literally you don't even like some people also have expectations like, oh, can we get the God of War 3 graphics? Like God of War 1, 2, Ghost of Sparta, and Chains of Olympus? I'm like, yeah, that's asking for quite. Yeah. That's like that's the Master Chief Collection kind of deal here.
No, you have to remake those whole games from scratch.
Yeah, you're going to have to Yeah, especially they're like, I want the cutscenes redone. Like I'm like, no, that was Master Chief Collection. That's Halo.
Yeah.
God of War is pretty big on PlayStation, yes, but I don't think it's gonna get the Halo treatment,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I mean, that's just.
But
That's just the thing. Like, I don't know who this game's for. Like, if it's for the fans, well, they've already played God of War 3. You know.
well, I mean, it's their big deal that they touted in the trailer that it's 10-year
I
anniversary.
guess, but I mean, if it's targeted to the fans, I mean, whatever. They've already played it. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal for them to play it again. And you can't say, oh, it's for people who are new to God of War, because that's not true. Because it's God of War 3. It's the last game in the series chronologically. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who it appeals to. And I mean, if they would have at least thrown a God of War Ascension, that could have been at least something. You know, at least have 2 games in the pack. You know.
Yeah, because less people play Ascension.
That's the more recent one. Maybe less people played, and that was towards the end of the PS3 life cycle, or at least the last year of it.
I'm almost wondering why they didn't bring Ascension is maybe because of multiplayer, but they could have just at least bring in the the story mode of Ascension at
Yeah.
least.
But that'd be really weird though if you had it in a pack, because then you have Ascension, the prequel, the beginning, and then you have the 3, the end. So you only get the very beginning and the very end of the story.
Yeah, you get it could be the God of War, the beginning of the end.
The beginning of there you go. There you go. That would be an awesome title. So, but yeah, like I said, I think they probably should at least throw an Ascension and maybe more justified it a bit more.
And then another con to this, there really isn't like a huge. From what I've seen of the trailer, and even there have been some comparisons video I've seen on YouTube. The game doesn't look all that better on PlayStation. It doesn't. It could be either just low effort of like actually making it look better, but it already looks so good on PS3.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one.
It was just that's a little odd.
Yeah, but maybe it's one of those things where
the game already looks so fantastic.
But maybe it's one of those.
It holds up.
Maybe it's one of those things where, like, once you play it, you'll really notice it. Like once you actually play it in front of you.
I suppose.
And
that's one thing. Yeah, YouTube is YouTube. Yeah. So, but still, you can at least tell a bit. Grand Theft Auto 5, you were able to definitely tell. Last of Us, not too much, but yes, that's the case where, like, once you played it, you saw the character models, how much better they looked than the PS3 game. That could be a possibility. Last of Us was kind of that same deal in a way. Yeah. So,
and another thing too is, like they said too, it being 60 frames per second. That's gonna make a big deal too to like the flow of the combat and everything. As you play it, seeing it all in 60 frames per second.
Oh, so that's like twice as much as the regular game.
Yeah. I'm assuming the PS3 version was only 30 because that's how they're touting this remaster. 60 frames per second, 1080p. So,
Yeah.
I assume.
I mean, I did kind of see this coming. I mean, we had God of War 1, 2 remastered, and then we had the PSP games there, and then, there was only time for 3, and, it was 5 years, and now we're kind of deeming this one a bit unnecessary. And then at its price point of $40, which I'm kind of happy that Sony's playing around with the price points here a bit, but $40, I'm sorry, it does seem a bit much. I think it should have been maybe at least $20. Or my entitlement here incoming free as a PlayStation Plus game any month. What was the month it was going to be? August or July? July as a free game on July. I don't know. I know that's maybe my entitlement inner entitlement gamer speaking inside of me, but at $40 it just to me doesn't ring any bells. I think I'd rather purchase new games that are going to be on PlayStation 4, and there are going to be plenty of new games. Just not exclusives, but I'd rather get something else.
Yeah.
God of War 3 is a fantastic game, don't get me wrong, but I want something else.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of something else, another remaster was rumored this past week, due to some reports or whatever. Apparently, a Batman Arkham collection is rumored to be in development for PS4 and Xbox One that would be released around the holidays. That's the end of 2015. And there's a lot of weird stuff about this collection from what the reports are saying. Well, one thing is it's only Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, so no Arkham Origins in the pack.
The one that least people play?
So that's not in the pack. So that's weird.
I'm starting to wonder if that's multiplayer too, but they could have at least just bring in the campaign of that and then take out the multiplayer trophies, but I don't know.
Yeah, so there's that. Then there's the fact that it comes out in the holidays. Well after Arkham Knight, which got a delay. A slight delay. but it did get a
A
delay.
slight delay, kind of like Dragon Age,
Yeah,
or something like that last
yeah, I got
year.
a slight delay. It was supposed to come out June 6th, I think, and it got pushed to June 23rd.
That's fine. I mean, June 6th, that's E3 week and all that stuff. So like,
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
And that's the beginning of the summer, and
So
I think it's fine.
anyway, so either way though, it's still really weird that this Batman collection is supposed to rumored to come out in around the holidays because Arkham Knight would have been out for a while by then. So it's just one of those things where, like, again, it goes back to what we said about God of War. Is this for the fans? I mean, well, if it's for the fans, they've already played Arkham Knight, or probably still will be playing Arkham Knight by that point. You know?
We'll see. I mean, that game, it's probably, yes, it's already touted to be really huge. Great game, yes. But once I get that, I'm playing the hell out
No,
of
but I
that.
mean,
I'm
there's
not
still
gonna-
more. I mean, there's
it's like,
still the single player, and then there's just the challenge maps. People want to perfect themselves in the challenge maps.
yeah, and then whatever DLC will come out later
So
for
I mean, if it's
Arkham Knight 2.
yeah, so if it's for the fans, they've already played these games, and they've played Arkham Knight, and could possibly still be playing Arkham Knight at this point. And if it's for people who are new to the series, then they'll feel really weird because like Arkham Knight already came out a couple months ago, and then they're like, oh, well, that's the new one. That's the one getting all the rave reviews. I mean, not that the first two didn't get rave reviews. It's just that's the one they're feeling more anxious to play. Is that new one?
It's newer.
Is the new one, and then they have to be like, well, no, I can't buy this new one because I gotta wait till the holidays to get the combo pack, and then once I buy the pack, I gotta play 2 games, and then I have to go buy Arkham Knight. It's just,
I was almost wondering about. I don't know if anybody has really asked like the creators of Rocksteady about Arkham Knight. Say that who knows if Arkham Knight will be a lot of people's first Arkham game. You never know.
the game's already being touted as the end of the trilogy. So already
yeah, so it is a big deal to know the story. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe you could. A lot of stuff did happen in the last games, yes, and then looking at I feel like you could play Arkham City without Arkham Knight. I mean, well, not Arkham Knight. Arkham City without Arkham Asylum.
yeah.
I kind of feel that like Arkham City. Like, don't wouldn't you agree? Like, you could play Arkham City without really playing Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I mean, Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. So maybe it might be the same deal here with Arkham Knight. I mean, Arkham Knight. Wait. Oh my gosh, I should know this. Like, when it takes place, it's is it like right after the second one, or is it like at least a considerable amount of time after? After City. That's my question. It's like
I'm not sure what the timeline is.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not really even sure. I don't know if anybody knows that. It looks like at least sometime, because I don't know, considering all the new gadgets that Bruce has and everything and all that. And
I think
him having the death of the Joker. Oh, whoops!
Spoilers!
Spoilers! Joker. What happens to him? After the events of the city. It's just I don't know. I think I would like to revisit both of those 2 games, and I haven't platinumed either of those 2, and maybe I would like to on PlayStation 4. Yeah, they're hard and they take a lot of time. So maybe that might appeal to people like me that actually do want to revisit. It does maybe seem an okay time, 2009, for Arkham Asylum, and then 2011 for Arkham City. Gosh, 2011 to now for Arkham Knight, that's quite a big gap.
But, I mean, well, I think now is a good time to put it out, obviously, because the new game is out. But I'm just saying it'd make more sense to put it out before the new one, to give the people who are new to the series a chance to play them, first. But
yeah, and then but then again, that time that you said holiday, a lot of people probably still haven't picked up Arkham Knight at that time yet. So maybe once Christmas season rolls around, they probably ended up getting both. Like both of the collection and Arkham Knight, which is great. So, holy cow, that's a lot right there to play. Especially for those 2 games, if you want to, before you get into Arkham Knight, which is going to be the wait. Yeah. But it could be okay, and it runs on an old Unreal Engine, and I'm not sure how that's really going to get upgraded. Maybe just higher res textures, or just the overall, I almost said run. Overall frame rate of the game is maybe better, but I don't know. I'm not really sure graphically how that's going to get improved too much due to the fact that it was on an Unreal Engine, and I'm not really sure how that's going to get improved greatly.
Yeah. But
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But
yeah, not useless like God of War 3.
Not really
no.
useless. but we'll see.
No.
Because
both of those games were really great. God of War was great
yeah.
too, but God of War had its things too.
Yeah. There's no God. I mean, there is going to obviously be God of War 4 at some point, but it's not this year.
Yeah.
It's not anytime soon.
That's what.
So.
No. Unfortunately, but hopefully we get an announcement maybe at E3.
We'll see. But anyway, moving on with the news I've written down. This is actually going back to last week, because last week we talked about Mortal Kombat X a good bit last week. There was a lot of Mortal Kombat X news last week. This week we got some new confirmations this week. Predator has been confirmed to be a DLC character for Mortal Kombat X.
Ooh.
But again, he is a part of the Season Pass, along with...
Yay! So you gotta make sure you pay your game $120 up front if you want it.
Well, not $120, just pay $60.
That's how much it is.
It's $60.
That's how much is it for the season
like $20
pass?
So you're paying $60 for the base game and then $20 for the Season Pass.
All right.
That one.
So let it slide
Not
on
$120.
this one.
That's only if you buy the collector's edition.
That's no. Well, I was thinking more Battlefield Hardline with the season.
Yeah,
pass.
the Season Pass for that one's $50.
Pay
Yeah.
Well, God, pay $120 up front for your game.
Yeah, no. This is...
But Mortal Kombat, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Like, this was a really quick one. You just if you really want these characters and you're not inclined to play Mortal Kombat X right now, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to play it, lack of fighting games on PS4 is a pretty big issue. But if you really want to wait, just wait for the Ultimate Edition or
Complete Edition.
Whatever edition that's going to come out later this year. I guarantee it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked a bit about it last week, so you can check that out, last week's episode. But this does go against what I said last week. 'Cause last week I said, they put Jason in the game because Warner Brothers owns him and is just promoting Warner Brothers characters. But, they proved me wrong. Predator, he's owned by Fox, so...
Yeah. They're expanding their reach. It's not going to be just Warner Brothers characters.
Yeah. But, trying to prove me wrong. So, yeah, now it's Predator. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool, though. We get Predator in a game.
Yeah, Predator is a very cool character. He's an iconic character. A lot of people know him. So that's good that he's going to be in Mortal Kombat X. That's cool.
Yeah.
If only Alien is in the game next.
Yeah.
See, we're thinking of all these team-ups. Like, Freddy Krueger was in the other Mortal Kombat game, and Jason's going to be in this new one. So why don't we have the obvious thing?
Yeah, but think about it now. Now you can get Jason to fight the Predator.
Jason versus Predator. That'd be a good idea. That's not a bad idea. Who could pen that script or direct that one? That would be an interesting one. It probably really sucked though. But you just at least something.
I mean, it's weird. It's
Jason versus Predator.
Because I mean, it's weird to think that like you said, the Predator's such an iconic character, but he's only got like 3 films. And his most recent film was like 2009 or something.
Oh
like that.
Yeah, with the Predators.
Yeah, and that was a long gap after his second one, which was in like 91 or something like that.
And then we're getting our Shade Black Predator.
At some point, whenever.
It's kind of feels like it's a standstill.
Yeah.
I don't really know the status on that one.
Yeah, because he only got 3 films, and the other one was recent. I mean, Alien got at least 4 films, with a 5th one coming.
Wait. Well, yeah, 4 like main ones.
And a 5th one coming. Predator only got 3 main films, and now a new one.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were counting Prometheus or like Alien Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, Alien versus Predator doesn't. Those don't count. Those don't count. We don't talk about those.
Yeah. No. We don't. Especially Requiem or whatever that one was. The one that came out like in 07.
Yeah, those are
terrible.
really off. Like they're just not good, and they don't make any sense in the continuity of either film franchise. So no one acknowledges those as canon with those films. So. So Predator only has 3 main films, and Alien has 4 main films. But each one has a new one on the way. There's Alien 5 coming, and there's new Predator coming. And Prometheus is more like a spin-off to Alien than a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, speaking of expanded universes and all that stuff, leads me to one last item I have on my news, and it's a big one. It's some good news. It is confirmed that we will see Star Wars Battlefront next month. We're finally going to see it fully revealed from DICE next month during the Star Wars celebration. I think it's in California, and it's listed
May 4th. I mean, May the 4th be with
not
you.
May 4th. It's the Star Wars celebration in California, and it's from April 16th to the 19th. So that weekend, we're going to see Star Wars Battlefront in action revealed to the public. So that's going to be It's going to be awesome. It's going to be something to see. They're also going to be playing Star Wars, I think, episodes 2 and 3 in 3D over there, which is pretty big because, they never got released. Remember that?
So in order to see that, you have to go to that event?
This is your one chance to finally see Star Wars episodes 2 and 3 in 3D.
Okay, I don't need to see 2, but 3 is at least something. Yeah. But whatever.
Sounds like a good event. You get to see those movies in 3D. Be one of the few people that get to see that. Plus, you get to see...
Very interesting, considering probably millions of dollars was probably spent on those...
versions.
Yeah, versions, and only like a few people get to see them. I don't think that... And that was probably free, so they don't gain any money from that. But who cares? They probably they have enough money anyways. I don't feel too bad for them losing money on this. Probably only like maybe less than $4 million was maybe even spent on those.
Conversions.
Because I think Avatars was maybe spent like 1.5 to 2 million on it, so for their 3D re-release, but whatever.
Whatever, man.
That's just like the inner jealous Star Wars fan in me. Don't get to see 3 in 3D.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So it sounds like a cool event. You can see those movies in 3D. You get to see Star Wars Battlefront in action. So yeah, like I said, April 16th and 19th, that's when we're going to see it in action, see what the hell it's all about.
Yes, I'm very curious. EA. Want to see?
Oh, and also some other little news. I never really thought about it, but EA confirmed too that Star Wars Battlefront, the new one's, going to be next gen only.
Yeah.
So they said it's only. Yeah, so it's only on PS4, Xbox One, and I guess PC.
Yes, they're not going to stick to the Battlefield route and just constantly put it out for PS3 and Xbox 360. Good.
Yes, so this is going to be a good looking game. Running.
Yeah, no holding back.
No holds
good.
bar.
God. Good.
Playing, see those awesome graphics and do space battles and all that good stuff.
I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm still a little cautious, but we'll see.
Star Wars Battlefront, man. Because, man, I started playing because Star Wars Battlefront 2 was like 90 cents the other day, part of the flash sale on PlayStation. Well, the PSP version of Star Wars Battlefront 2 was 90 cents. There's 80 cents, something like that. And if you... Well, no, it's too late now. It's already over. But if you were worried that the game wasn't going to run your Vita, it does run your Vita. The only thing is you can't download directly to your Vita. You have to download to your PS3 first, then hook up your Vita to your PS3, and then you can do then you can transfer it over using the Content Manager. So that's how you can get Star Wars Battlefront 2 in your Vita, despite the fact that it's not directly downloadable to your Vita, like through the PlayStation Store. Because that's what I did, and I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 last week on my PSP, and it's so good. It's just how I remember it. And because the PSP version for the most part is like the PS2 version. I mean, yeah, I know the controls are the controls are weird, but with the Vita,
the camera.
Yeah, but the thing is with the Vita, you can assign the camera to the right analog stick. So, like, you go in the settings, you can go, like, in the controller settings when you reload a PSP game, and you can set the face buttons to the right analog stick, so you can use the right analog stick as a camera. So now it's, like, perfect for the most part, as far as controls. Oh, man, just loading the game up, hearing the music and the sound effects and stuff, just, bring me back to those PS2 days. Playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I know. DICE has a difficult task to live up here.
Oh yes,
I hope they deliver. I'm a little well. I don't want this game shoved out the door quick. If it needs to get delayed, which I hope this game comes out this year. Episode 7,
Yeah.
But yeah, I know you're really enticed on that. But if they need to delay it, then they need to delay it. I won't mind that. Because we don't want Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I mean that's
launch Battlefield 4.
I mean that's the thing, like
Battlefield 4 fixed now.
I mean that's the thing, like I know they want to get it out in time for Star Wars 7 to ride that hype, but I think when it comes down to it, like you said, EA will delay it if they feel they need to because they don't want this game to break.
Battlefield 4.
You know? I mean, because we saw that with Hardline, like they wanted it out in the fall, and they said, "Well, no, we don't want to rush it," so they delayed it to March, and it had a smooth launch.
A mostly smooth launch. Some issues on PC, but yeah, on consoles it was just fine. Yeah. Xbox had some issues, but that was not in EA's hands. Well, Battlefield Hardline. Oh, we'll see what happens when you delay it. Actually, give it time.
Yeah,
it actually has a mostly smooth launch. So just do the same for Battlefield. not Battlefield. Well, yes, also do the same for Battlefield 5, but also do the same for Battlefront.
Yes.
So
So
we'll have to see how that game turns out. I'm very optimistic.
yes, cautiously optimistic.
Yes, due to the reputation of.
Don't screw this up. That's all we have to say.
I know. If they do, man. I mean, not only is that like a telling sign of just like EA in general, but it's also a telling sign for just the whole brand of Star Wars in gaming. That's not good.
I don't know, man.
We'll see. A lot's
They give
writing
it a little
on
too
it.
hard on EA because I mean, yeah, Battlefield 4 had a bad launch, but I mean, Hardline launched well, and I mean, freaking Dragon Age was made by EA, well, was distributed through EA, and that won Game of the Year a lot of places, and it was amazing.
And Dragon Age also got delayed. Yeah.
We got delayed like a month.
Yeah, no, but it's at least
Yeah.
something, which gave it its months. Or what would that game would have been if that game came out that month?
I don't know.
Compared to, I don't know. Well, I don't know if there's anything that drastic, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Never know.
I don't know. But you just make it sound like, oh, it's EA, I'm worried. You know, it's like, it's not.
That's I
mean,
I think I have some.
I mean, EA only put out. I mean, yeah, they put out Battlefield 4, but I mean, that was kind of it. The only thing they put out kind of broken. But
that was a disaster.
I mean, it wasn't a disaster. You could totally play it.
Yeah, yeah, you could. That's a hypothetical in the beginning, but now it's like completely like fixed, which is good.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like EA still put out good stuff that works and was amazing, like Dragon Age, you know. So it's not just EA. It's just
that's BioWare, and EA knows that BioWare is like one of the top tier developers in gaming, and they don't screw up. They don't put out bad games. No,
but you're
it's
still
BioWare.
making it seem like a double standard. Like when it comes to Dragon Age, oh, that's BioWare. But when it comes to like Battlefield, that's all EA.
Because because Battlefield. Not to say Dragon Age is not one of EA's flagship franchises, but Battlefield is EA. Like when you think about it. Also, Dragon Age is also, but with Battlefield, that's like their Call of Duty. That's like their game. And like when you have like your game just like completely fall on its face like at launch, that's not good. It's the same thing with Microsoft and Master Chief Collection. Yeah, it's fixed now, but at launch it was a disaster. So no more of that.
Yeah.
We expect more from these launches and from these companies like that have millions of dollars and have like years of development time. So it doesn't hurt to ask for a little bit more. Not to say I'm like fully entitled to like have that, but just saying. I mean, just for reputation's sake, and that the fact that it's Star Wars brand, it should be treated respectfully.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then we're gonna have a big problem. No more EA. Just DICE games or whatever, but I don't know. We'll have to see the footage first. That's just hypotheticals. That's like if I time traveled to post Battlefront launch. It is a disaster. We don't know that yet.
Yeah.
If that happens, but we'll have to see.
If that happens, yeah.
No, we'll have to see.
We got about another month or so. Weeks.
So we get footage.
We'll see how that goes. But that's all the news I've written down. So I guess. We go over some of those questions you said you have.
Yeah, and then we could go over those first, and then we'll go over the episodic game content questions second. And these will not be spoilers for the ones that are going on right now, at all. So you can listen without any worries. Oh, jeez. All right, this one is about a game specifically. This one comes from Albert, and this is probably a question I can answer.
Albert, that was his name.
I do not know what you're talking about. I'm just kidding. Well, I know The Walking Dead, but Albert. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, was he in season 2?
Yeah.
Of the show, of the game?
Right.
Oh yeah, Albert. My bad. My apologies. It's just that he was gone so quick that he asked. This is what he says. When can we expect to see single player specific DLC in Grand Theft Auto 5? I was disappointed greatly by the online heist and would love missions with the 3 amigos again. Amigos? I never heard of amigos? Okay. I mean, we were asking ourselves this the other day about GTA 5's DLC, especially since the heist just came out about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He also says that he's greatly disappointed in the heist. I mean, I found them to be good. You know, there's issues in them definitely, but I like
Oh
them a
yeah,
lot, especially when you play with
those
friends.
restrictions, the certain stuff you have to do just to even start one.
It's not too bad. I mean, yes, grand total, I did look at it. Like you have to play the online for at least a few, maybe a good few hours before, which is not good. But yeah, there's some design issues with the DLC as well, which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to greatly because it's not going to be defended there, unfortunately, especially since it's GTA Online. But people want to play the masterful single player, which I love a lot. That's the reason why I love the game. I don't love it for its online at all. Uh, I guess it's as good as mine, man, at this point because GTA 4 saw greater support single player wise by this point in time, and yes, Rockstar did work on the release of GTA 5 on PlayStation 4 by for all this time, so that's probably why there's no single player DLC. And as far as we know on the record from the main three voice actors, they did actually come back to the studio and did some more mocap and shooting. So there might be a possibility that there's more coming very soon.
Yeah.
We could maybe expect an announcement at E3 because that was a surprise to see at the Sony conference last year that we got that announcement of the. I mean, it wasn't a surprise that GTA 5 was coming on PS4, but it was a surprise that Rockstar actually went to E3 and debuted a trailer
Yeah.
running on a PlayStation 4 specifically. So maybe that could be their like kind of surprise deal here at E3 because where else? I mean, you have April next month. I mean, Rockstar can always announce things whatever the hell they want, and there's no issue with that, but. And then odds are for the price of this, it's not going to be free. I doubt this will be free. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind paying for 20 more hours of story content. So this is likely maybe going to be maybe 20, $30. We don't know. That's just speculation.
Yeah.
But maybe I suspect an announcement maybe at E3 about just more expansions of the single player base game, which I'm pretty sure more people are going to want at this point rather than online content.
Yeah.
That's just me. I would much rather see single player content, which is the better half of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it will probably be at E3. That's a good time to announce it.
Have its own surprise thing, and it could have its trailer running on the PlayStation
Yeah.
4. And then we have the PC version coming soon.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing, too.
Throws messing up.
I would suspect an announcement at E3 about it.
And actually, what I was about to say was, but I forgot that you mentioned that. Yeah, I remember reading that too about how like the voice actors said that they recorded new stuff.
Yes.
Because I forgot about that. Because at first I was going to say, well, it might be new characters because that's what they did with Grand Theft Auto 4. The two big expansion packs for that game was all new characters.
But I think for GTA 5 specifically, they're really relying on the story to continue the story with the three characters again. Because you already have three. I mean, I don't know what the benefits are of adding other ones. Yes, it would be a neat idea, but then again, you have to craft those characters. And then the way GTA 4 was implemented, you had like cameo appearances of like those characters in the main game already. So like it was already kind of hinted at that they were going to be DLC. So, but here in GTA 5, you don't really see that in this game at all. It's really reliant on those three main protagonists. So, I would suspect more with those. But yeah, there's been more recordings of those three characters, some of the side characters, and even some of the radio DJs. So we can maybe expect more things from in the radio stations as well. Because also GTA 5 on PC is getting brand new music. So, yeah. Oh, new music's always good. So I think that hopefully should answer that, if it even really does at all. But just wait for an official thing from Rockstar. It's always them; they're secretive as can be. We'll get into this one before we talk about episodic game content here, without spoiling it. Okay, this one comes from Greg. He says, "What do you guys think about the recent security breach in Twitch? I personally was very upset about this and have moved on to a different platform for streaming. I also hope the CEO could stop talking about console life cycles and instead focus efforts to make the service more secure and better overall. Thank you." The recent but this is one thing I actually didn't talk about. That was actually kind of a big deal because considering that Twitch is heavily integrated to PlayStation 4. That's well, considering that not just that too. Greg here wrote in that Twitch has also been having a string of issues where it's been down recently. A lot of people have had trouble just streaming in general, and the website's been down constantly over the course of this past week, of really 2 weeks, and that's been really a big issue. And just recently, this week, that we saw a security breach in Twitch, and now Twitch is distributing emails to people that, hey, basically change your password on both Twitch and whatever the hell you use now. And if you use probably the same email and password combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me is very upsetting.
Yeah.
That shouldn't really happen.
I mean,
considering they're bought by Amazon and they have plenty of money, and I don't understand why stuff like this happens. Considering a lot more people are making accounts and then integrating them to their PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones and
I don't know. I didn't
all
really.
that.
I don't know. I didn't really think about it. Like I got the email, but I didn't really think about it. Like I still haven't changed my password yet. It's just I don't know. Just
Yeah, me neither. No, I mean I just follow people on Twitch, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't stream too often on PS4, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's not like I have a pro account or I'm not making money on my like
or,
I'm not
or you're not partnered.
Yeah, not partnered.
I'm
That's
just
the
saying
word.
For the folks out there that are partnered, I could understand their frustrations greatly because Twitch is the way that business works. It's just one that I'm not a fan of, but I greatly appreciate those who do it because it's a big commitment. But it's just frustrating. I don't understand why stuff like this is happening. And then the site constantly going down, and then I don't think it's maintenance at all. I think the site is just down. It could be due to maybe the growing popularity of it, but at the same time, I just don't know what's going on over there. I really hope they get stuff sorted out.
But I mean, hopefully this will probably just lead to more streaming options on PS4 because right now, really all you have is Twitch or Ustream, and nobody uses Ustream.
And then YouTube has been talking about getting into the game about streaming, but they've been heavily criticized on the way they have been not for security reasons, but Google in general, but it has security issues that people have. But people aren't a fan of the way you can stream on YouTube at the moment. So maybe some R&D went into revamping their whole streaming deal, but who knows? Maybe well, I mean, there's already YouTube integration already on the consoles, but
second.
But for those out there that are partnered and take this, well, I mean, not to say that people that stream on PS4 take it seriously, but just ones that are partnered and they super duper take it seriously. They generally stream from their PCs onto the console or play PC games. So another option is heavily welcomed right now when YouTube introduces and revamps their streaming platform. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I totally agree with Greg. Things do need to be improved greatly. The app on iPhone's fine and iPad, but I would like to view maybe archives of streams on my tablet as opposed to just viewing on a PC, things like that. And also on the PS4 app, I believe on the Xbox One app, you can also watch non-gaming well, it's hard to say non-gaming streams on Twitch, but you can watch if you want to watch a gaming talk show or something that doesn't have gameplay in it, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that on PS4. On the Xbox One Twitch app, you can watch whatever the hell you want.
Well, the only reason that happened is because, on PS4, people were streaming non-gaming stuff through Twitch, but it got out of hand. That's...
But I'm talking... Yeah, but ones that are maybe partnered or official, I would like to maybe view that on my PlayStation 4. Yeah, I understand that reason too, but I just don't... But on Xbox One, you can watch whatever you want,
I believe. I guess it hasn't got out of hand yet on Xbox.
Maybe, but I mean, then maybe.
So if you're on Xbox and you listen to us, take it upon yourself to make it go out of hand. Don't hurt yourself.
Maybe,
but maybe we need even the playing field, and maybe go a little out of hand on those Twitch streams so it can be even field. So they can block the non-gaming Twitches on Xbox.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just legitimate shows that go on Twitch that doesn't have gameplay, but it say we did this live on Twitch, that's a gaming talk show. That would be in the gaming talk show. They have their own gaming talk show, section area.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I mean, they still, like I said, they have that on PS4, but it's only on Ustream because Twitch, like I said, I don't know, Twitch cracked down because everything got out of hand, and they're like, well, no, we're not going to do any non-gaming streams on PS4. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I didn't know that for Xbox that they can do non-gaming streams, so I guess it hasn't got out of hand yet. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, non-gameplay. I mean,
so some people,
I'm pretty no Twitch in general. Like even on computer on a PC, if you view it on your computer, I'm pretty sure they crack down on that just as heavily as they do on PS4. I mean, I'm not gonna say that 100%. That's definitely not true, but I'm pretty sure they do the same thing because even when that statement came out, especially for PlayStation, I think in general Twitch wanted to like kind of restructure a bit. So I'm pretty sure it's not just PlayStation that's facing the brunt of it. I'm pretty sure it's also ones that are on PC and Xbox One as well.
Yeah.
And any other. Nope, I don't think it could stream for Ouya. Well, you could. You hypothetically could if you connect everything to your PC and then the console. But it's the same with the Wii U. Yeah. But you can't stream directly from.
Yeah, I just want to stream my Netflix so I can stream my stream from Netflix to people.
Yay, Daredevil.
Oh yeah, stream Daredevil to people. I mean, we already see people on Twitch do that where they take their PlayStation camera and they point it at not to Netflix, but like to
they pointed to other like a PS2 game or like a PS1 game.
Yeah. But I've never seen anybody do that to Netflix yet because I just feel like that's something somebody would do.
You would get a major copyright strike probably. You would probably get like a.
Well, I remember the night of the Super Bowl, people were streaming the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Really? Well, maybe for those international folk out there, maybe I don't know. But that's weird.
Or maybe no one just thought about it. Like, no one thought about streaming Netflix. Like, some guys listen to this right now going, that's a good idea. I'm going to go doing that after this.
Yeah, I want to watch House of Cards in really low quality, Twitch quality with the PlayStation camera.
You hear like a fan in the background because he picks up all the rest of the sound in the room. Because you just got to point at a TV, and it's like some guy's just like, I don't care. I'm watching House of Cards for relatively free. I don't care if there's a fan in the background.
You have to be super desperate then.
And it's not like you can just keep it on either, too, because after like 3 episodes, Netflix stops and asks you, hey, are you still here? So it's not like you can just leave it going and like, leave and go to school or work or whatever.
That's a good point. Are you ready to talk about some episodic games?
Yes. So we have to do it in episodes.
We can't go into great detail about these because due to the nature of the game story, can't let people spoil them. I mean, we could literally do a whole podcast about these, but if you played one of them, but you played Game of Thrones,
I haven't played Game of Thrones.
You don't play Life is Strange.
I have not played Life is Strange, no.
But I played both episode 3 of Game of Thrones and Life is Strange episode 2 because both of those came out this week on the very same day, which is great. Which is great for me considering combined totals. That was probably about 5, maybe 6 hours of gameplay. I'll talk about them first before we get into the questions because these questions aren't too elaborate at all. But which was I'll probably start Game of Thrones first because that's literally the first one I played before Life is Strange. Game of Thrones episode 3, I picked up quite a bit comparing to the second episode. Definitely a lot going on as always. You definitely do a lot more quick switching between the 4 characters. Much quicker. Yeah, 4. I believe it's 4. And the ending was awesome. I'm going to say what happens there. The ending was awesome, which Telltale always wants to do for make sure you play our next episode, basically, and buy it.
But the show will have been started by the time that next episode starts.
Yeah, which is also a thing of note here. The show's about to start, which is pretty good timing considering whatever. I'm not going to say what the events of this episode are going to be, but
let's just say
it seems it's appropriate.
Yeah, let's just say it kind of ties into where the new season's about to start. I think that's big enough.
So it's appropriate in that regard, which is really cool.
Yeah.
The writing's great, and then I really liked all of the action, especially it's all balls to the wall action in the beginning and even the end as well. So that's really cool. And I'm kind of at a loss to what to say because goodness, just a lot of stuff went down that I really don't want to get into for people. Even you too, because you have yet to play it.
That thing happened. This other thing happened. And then.
Another thing, and
then some word, and then some words start scrolling across the screen. I didn't know what was going on.
And then somebody said that they'll remember something or don't remember something. I don't know.
And Clementine.
It's just God, it is very difficult to talk, especially Telltale games. In Life is Strange, I have quite a bit to say about, but this one is a bit more difficult. You know, it's Game of Thrones, so you have to tread lightly. But, well, probably not anymore, considering what's going to happen. But, at least with the game, at least, you know, it's something, and, you know, you control what happens, and, you know, people's games are different. Uh, I don't know. For that, I'll at least say it's better than the second episode for that, and I highly recommend it for people. But if you've already bought the season pass, then you have no choice. Well, you have a choice. You could play it or not. If you don't feel like it, but
It's like me. It's like I bought that season pass for like I think Batman Arkham Origins. I didn't play like any of it, any of the DLC. Kind of forgot I had it.
I don't know. But especially for a Telltale game where it's like, you know, there isn't much gameplay in there. It's just kind of weird. You know, it's kind of like buying a season pass maybe like on iTunes and not watching any of the episodes. Of like a show. So
oh yeah, because then you know there gotta be people out here that just watch like live streams of it. Like they just don't have any need to play it. Like they can just watch live streams of it or whatever.
Of Game of Thrones or like any other Telltale game. Yeah, that's true.
But you don't get that platinum trophy.
So no, you don't. There's a platinum trophy in Game of Thrones, and they put it in such a way where like by the end of episode 3, it's literally you're 50% of the trophy's way through.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's 6 episodes, so after 3, it only makes sense that you're halfway through. We're halfway through, and at the rate that these episodes are coming, I'm very much liking it. So good job, Telltale, on that front. Now let's just hope that the game works on Xbox One and doesn't have any issues with the choices carrying over, because that's not cool.
That's not cool, man.
But what is cool
remember that.
is Life is Strange Episode 2, which also came out.
Yes.
It was also pretty big in the events that happened in that as well. And I'll also state off here right off the bat that the events that happened here, and, you know, it's also a choice-driven game, that the choices I made here are probably some of the most regretful choices I had ever made in any adventure game that I played, for choice-driven action adventure game I played. And I was very upset at the results that I had, and that, you know, just like, yeah, it's kind of different than the Telltale games of what stats you get in the end, because it also tells in Life is Strange the other possible outcome, which, you know, kind of spoils it a bit, but like, you know, you get to see the other outcome. And I was just so upset at just my end result, and I felt I felt dissatisfied, not in a bad way, of the game's fault. Like, dissatisfied in my actions, like what I had caused, and it just made me so upset.
You screwed up this poor girl's life. How dare you?
Oh, what? Oh, well, yes, I screwed up somebody's life in it, but oh my goodness, it was a bit heartbreaking, you know, and it dealt with to me, it also dealt with subject matter that is not seen in too many games, and I'm not very fond of it to see it really in games. I mean, I'm fine with it maybe in movies or like in a book, but in games, I'm not really too fond of seeing that deal of subject matter. I won't really say what it is here, due to the fact that I will also spoil it. But it's also in the ending of the game, and it's not something I'm not really a fan of seeing in games really too often at all, or really at all in general. But I accept it in some ways, but here, not really too much. But it made sense for the circumstance that you were in, and what else was it? I'm teasing it so much.
Oh, so
it's nothing. It's
so,
nothing taboo
so
or
vaguely
like weird.
cryptic.
It's just something that, yeah. It's nothing taboo or weird or anything that'll make it look. Oh, what the? It's just something I'm not a fan of seeing.
This ain't no Quantic Dream
games at all.
Yeah, Quantic Dream mess.
No. Well, I don't know about Beyond Two Souls. What might be in that game, but no, nothing of that nature. No, it's just something I'm not a fan of seeing too much actually happen. Really, just the issues that maybe I had with Episode 2, depending on the way that you play the game, because it's like you, as opposed to Telltale games, which is also maybe a problem going back to Game of Thrones. In Game of Thrones, when you actually end up getting control and walking your character around, there doesn't really seem to be too many interesting things to like look at, in my opinion. I don't know. You play the first 2 episodes. I don't know if you agree with me on this. That I don't know, when you like finally get control, you know, like walk your character around. I don't know. In Game of Thrones, I don't feel like there's too many interesting things to like actually look at, in my opinion. But I mean, it's been kind of the same deal with like maybe even the Walking Dead games as well. But Wolf Among Us, like, things had more purpose to them when you pick things up or like look at stuff.
Yeah.
But in Life is Strange, depending how you play it, this was my kind of issue with the episode is maybe the pacing of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the way that you play it, the episode ran for me about 3 hours. three. But that was really contingent on really looking at a lot of stuff and reading, because you also get new journal entry in there, which are really highly recommended that you read. And due to the release nature of the episode, which probably won't be an issue when you play them all at once, but I was struggling to remember characters' names. So once a character's name was spoken,
you.
I had to, yeah, hey you. But I remember my main character's name, me and my friend, my main friend. I won't say really. But I found myself pressing the touchpad a lot and then going to my journal and like looking at the names of people a lot because I kind of forgot who was who and such. Yeah, but I mean that was just me. I mean, Game of Thrones was worse. Game of Thrones was way worse.
Well, yeah, because you don't watch. Cause you don't watch the show.
I know that, but like the characters are like for the game.
To be fair, I know most of the character names, but I don't know how to pronounce them. Like, I know Tyrion. Okay, I got that down. And then there's like, oh god, I can't remember her name. The one from the Terminator series. I never forget her name's like.
Oh, whoops! I will say where she's at, but she's in the episode.
She's in the episode, but I forget her name or how to say it.
She's in the episode. I won't say what.
Tyrion,
she's in the episode.
And then there's the girl with the dragons. Her name's Dany. Well, they call her every time I read a review for Game of Thrones, they call her Dany because they never want to type out her full names like Danica blah 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 blah. Something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they got nicknames, and it's like, well, that's Danny. And then you got one guy, his name's Jamie. It's like, oh, God. It's like George R. R. Martin just came up with all these crazy names, and it's like, I don't know what to name this guy. Screw it. Jamie. That's easy.
I don't know. At least the names in the game don't seem too bad.
I guess for the main characters, they're more.
I don't think they're as obtuse as I don't think they're as obtuse as the show or the books, even for that matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game of Thrones is worse. But yeah, that was kind of another issue in Life Strange. I just found maybe the pay. Like you can, depending how you play it, you can literally be like in one area for maybe 30 minutes. Like imagine that. Like imagine that. If Telltale games, they always keep going. You're always going from place to place, right? Like Wolf Among Us, you go from scene to scene. Game of Thrones, you're supposed to be between characters, to scene for that too. But then Life is Strange is a bit strange that you kind of stay in one area for a bit, and depending on the way that you play it, you can stay in there for quite a long time. Yes, I get lost in myself and looking at things, talking to people, having different outcomes for things. But I would just like to maybe see a different kind of structure to the game. And also, this is also of note here, which I don't think a lot of games do too often, that the game actually takes place over the course of a week. Mm-hmm. It's already hinted at that because, like, episode 1 was Monday, episode 2 was Tuesday, episode 3 is going to be Wednesday, episode 4 is going to be Thursday, and then episode 5 is going to be Friday. So this game does take place, despite it having time travel. It only takes place over the course of a week, it seems like. We don't know what's going to happen in the other course of the other 3 episodes to happen, but it seems like it takes place over the course of a week.
Life is Strange sounds like this is a game that either this one or maybe a sequel should have like Morpheus support, so that way you just get like lost into it, like you are this person, like just going around this girl's life and just be like, having all these new friends and people to interact with, and looking through the room, just digging through drawers and stuff with the headset on.
Well, yeah, you can look. Oh my gosh, you look through people's drawers, and you look through everything in that game, dude. You can.
You just do
literally just get lost.
You just do that. Just picture that with a headset, just looking around the room, digging around for stuff, and flipping through your journal in first person with your headset.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You forget who you are. You take off the headset. What? I was a female 5 minutes ago in this game.
Well, I mean, it's not super suggestive. I mean, that's, I mean, they tout that she's 18 in the game, I think, but in my opinion, she doesn't really look 18. But that's probably just the issue of character design. Mm. I mean, her friend looks 18. Well, I think she's a little older than her, but I don't know. She's 18. I don't know why. Maybe in the game, why did they just go for the whole, just go the college route. Like, I don't understand why they had to maybe do the private school like deal where they also have dorms. I don't know. They already have dorms and they already have like more
Yeah.
even more mature gossip than what you would hear in high school. So I don't understand why they did just go college instead. I mean, she's 18.
Yeah.
That's the normal age. That's the normal age of college, and there's dorms and there's people around. It's a small community. That sounds like either it would be not community college. It would be like at a university or something like that. I don't understand why they didn't just go that
Yeah.
route. Because literally, I don't think it would have made any difference. Yes, maybe you would have maybe less attachment to what Max knows of other people. Oh, this is also a remarkable thing right here. How Max has maybe lived like at this place for like a short period of time, but she really knows a lot of people around. Like she knows people like from like the diner she eats at and all these other places, and she like knows
It's
everybody
like
at school, which is good. But
it's like Scott Pilgrim. That one guy knows everybody.
Yeah, the one
It's like
guy
have
who
you
knows
seen
everybody.
a girl with this type of hair? And he holds up a little paper with some like circles scrolled on it.
Oh yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
right.
that's Ramona.
Everybody
She's over
he
there.
knows
Yeah,
everybody at the
knows everybody at the
party.
party. Like, have you seen a girl with this hair? Holds up a paper. And he's like, yeah, that's Ramona. She's over there. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he even knows that, even the slightest deformation. Uh, I don't know. That's just something that kind of not went over my head, but kind of I thought of. I don't know why they just didn't go the whole college route.
Yeah.
But then again, there's like a principal character, but could have been a dean or something. But then again, schools have like have like a lot of deans,
Yeah.
so that's tricky.
But
I don't know.
yeah. But did you actually get to the questions though? 'Cause didn't we have two more?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, sorry, you can give me my
so-
impressions.
I know.
Telling people about
I know.
the
It's just
episode.
we're at the 1 hour 11 minute mark. We got to wrap this up.
Yeah, we do.
I mean,
These aren't too
are they
good.
quick fire questions? Sort of.
Kind
Yeah.
of. This one comes from Amberly. She asked when we can expect the season 2. I mean, we're only in the second episode here.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Like that. Don't expect an announcement of a second season. We don't know I don't know how the story ends, and I really don't have an idea of that yet. And
and we don't know how
just
successful
Square
it
Enix will
is.
probably have to wait. Well, from Square Enix perspective, they have said it's very
Oh, there
successful
you
so
go.
far. So the first episode.
Yeah. So
So,
we'll see.
I don't think there's been any like numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's been successful. Their Twitter page has always been raving about it, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's doing fine.
Fine. We'll see.
So, depending maybe on how the story ends, we'll have to see if there's going to be a season 2. Maybe a different protagonist. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
You literally make up anything, especially with the game's concept of time
The second
travels,
one,
which is
the second one you play as a dragon, and the dragon fights people,
Mhm.
and Hey,
that's Game of Thrones season 2 right
Clementine,
there.
and
That's Game of Thrones Telltale season
yeah,
2.
just take all that.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, our last one
Okay.
here before we wrap this
Yeah.
up for the day is this one comes from Antonio, and he says, "What should Telltale's new IP do in order to top the awesome that is Life is Strange?" Well, first of all, as we know, Telltale is making a new IP right now at the
Yes,
moment.
their most ambitious.
Fully new.
Yes, their most
Yeah, their most ambitious game
Yeah.
ever. And in some respects, yes, Life is Strange does have maybe some elements that I prefer over the Telltale games, such as more control. And because currently, right now, Game of Thrones and Borderlands don't really have much control in them, as much as Wolf Among Us or Walking Dead does at the moment. But which is not a huge deal. I mean, you still make decisions, you still interact,
Yeah.
but there isn't much time for you to walk around.
Yeah. So that's probably something that's going to be a part of this.
But
thing.
I know, but this is a bit tricky one for you to answer since you haven't played Life is Strange yet. Well, I mean, of course, we want the new engine. But then again, Life is Strange also does run on an outdated engine too. So they have that in common. I mean, Life is Strange is very good. But I'm not gonna rank it like above really. Well, I mean, rank it maybe above other Telltale IPs, but recent ones, no. I mean, I prefer Tales of the Borderlands over Life is Strange right now. Game of Thrones I really like too, but Game of Thrones is its own, it's its own beast of its own, literally. So Telltale's new. We stated before what we want to see in Telltale games more: an upgraded engine, just make sure it works on all platforms, and we don't know what to make of whatever this original story is going to be yet. And Life is Strange is original in many ways, and it also takes some things from other movies and film and television shows. So, Life is Strange isn't all completely original. It has its own inspirations from other things.
Yeah.
But I mean, there isn't too much. I mean, Telltale really nails their story and the writing, and Life is Strange does have some issues in its writing, due to the fact that it's probably international. It's from, I believe, the studio's from France, so there's maybe some English things there too. We can definitely tell in the game, but Telltale doesn't really have that issue at all since it's an American studio.
Some lost in translation type thing.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And just the way they think, maybe the way teenagers act, maybe over there as opposed to ones in the States. It's kind of similar to maybe Heavy Rain in a way. Yeah, Heavy Rain. Yeah, it's the same deal. No, it's the same deal here, but possibly worse. No, but I'm talking here, dude, possibly worse in Life is Strange. That might not sound attractive, but I get over it. It isn't something like too bad, like where I'm going to be like, this isn't the way that they, because I don't know, because I don't know everybody. Everybody's different, so like maybe there is a community similar to this in some form or another. Not somebody with superpowers like that, but
all American,
maybe under the same
all American high schoolers have superpowers. You didn't know that?
Yeah. Oh, that. No, I didn't. Where's the powers division? But I don't know. I would answer your question not too much because, to be quite perfectly honest, there's things that Life is Strange can improve on that to get even on par with some of Telltale's recent efforts. Mm-hmm. So that's just my opinion. But yeah. Cool. Alrighty.
Cool. Yeah, we went well over time this week. So if you are still listening, thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with us.
Yes.
For this time. But yeah, so we are reaching the end of the 9th episode of the PSBS. Just a little reminder before we go, we did put up some new stuff this past week. We put up a new Let's Play video from the PSBS. We play Dying Light, co-op portion of that. That's up now. It's like 40 or so minute video. You can check that out. Just see us mess around in that. But if you want to contact the PSBS and get your questions read like these people just did, multiple ways to contact us. Yeah. You can message me directly on PSN bayouboyz. You can message my co-hosts at PSN doubleis. You can comment directly on the video. You can message me directly on the YouTube channel. Also, I have a Facebook fan page up. So you guys can go to that. You can check that out. All of our videos, even our extra Let's Plays and stuff are on there all in one spot. You can message or comment on that. Check that out. So with that, this is the end of the 9th episode of the PSBS The PlayStation Bull Session Podcast. I'm your host, Cote, PSN bayouboyz. My co-host here is
Andrew Arenas, doubleis. Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week.
Enjoy Bloodborne, Borderlands, episodic game content.
All that.
I say that now because there's 2 of them. There's too much. And whatever is going to come out next week, which is, I believe, MLB. So
yes, I think so too. Yes.
Enjoy that, everybody.
So yeah, have a good week, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week.